What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, and we bring you Splinterland's content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by, say hello. We do giveaways every stream, and we do giveaways every week here on the channel. All you got to do is leave your in-game username in the comments, and I pick up my favorite comments every week on the weekly Q&A videos. I've also started streaming live here on YouTube Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday mornings. And morning for me is going to be on at Central Time in the US. Okay, so I wanted to do, I guess, another series here now that we've had maybe a week plus to play with these Chaos Legion cards and kind of get some first thoughts, or at least what are the cards that I'm really enjoying and that I really like, or are my, I guess, favorite cards by Splinter, right? And so I'm playing in bronze and silver. I guess most of my cards now are leveled up for silver. I will try to take a peek down the road into some of the later or higher leagues, but at least now, and I feel like a majority of players are probably playing at the bronze and silver level. Maybe some of those are getting into gold. You know, this is where it, I think, is relevant for a majority of people, but would love to get your thoughts too. So let me know down below. Now I'm going to start in the neutral Splinter because, again, I love neutral cards because of their versatility. I think they're great, and I think if you're going to focus on leveling up any cards first, neutrals probably aren't a bad idea, just because as you get the summoners for them, they'll be playable with any and all of those summoners that are leveled up to their appropriate levels. So let's actually start from the top down. Legionnaire Alvar, solid card. 9 mana is a little much for me. I do have mine at level 2 right now, which was a huge win because of the fact that he can do 6 damage with Giant Killer. So when it comes to fighting a Kron or any of those, 10 plus mana cards, very valuable. I haven't played with him at the higher levels where he gets demoralized at level 3. So this would be gold level, and then death blow in the final level, or maxed out level. Those are all fantastic. This is actually, even with a high mana cost, probably one of my favorite cards to play with. Very situational, though, just because of how much mana he actually costs. And Void Armor is fantastic. Obviously, he's got a ton of armor to work with here, and so therefore, it's essentially 14 hit points no matter who is hitting him. So, I think it's a great card. It's one of my favorites. The other legendary card, Dr. Blight, I love this card. I think it's funny because he definitely has his issues in terms of being super slow, right? Like his speed never increases, but they're, again, with very situational scenarios, especially the rule sets where you do reverse speed, you pair him with, it doesn't even need to be Obsidian, but if you're able to land him, and I've been able to play him now at level 2, most turns he's going to either get Affliction or Poison, sometimes both. And the fact that he has Camouflage makes him very safe in the back. And so I don't know. I mean, I feel like people are sleeping on him. Just saying. I think that he actually is quite valuable. And then once you're able to get the Scavenge ability as well, which will only increase his hit points. Yeah, I really like both of the legendary cards here. Again, Legionnaire Alvar, the mana cost a little high, but I can live with it. Now, when it comes to the epic cards, let's go there next. And actually, let me filter this so it's easier to see. So there are 2 epic cards here. And actually, am I missing some? That would be, why did I feel like there were 3? No, there's only 2. Okay, there's 3 of all the other Splinters. All right, so let's go back to Chaos Legion and Neutral. So I can actually get these guys up to level 3. I don't have them at level 3 yet. Magi of Chaos, I'm not a big fan of. It's too high mana, especially at the lower levels, to do 2 magic damage, and he's not even that fast. Granted, he makes a decent back tank is where I've used him at some points, just because he does have 6 HP, or I guess you could put him up in front as well if you're trying to cover up some of your ranged attackers. Now, I haven't played with him at level 3, which is eligible for silver, where he does get that 1 extra magic damage. I don't know. I'm telling you, not that I dislike the card, I'm just not using it often. I haven't found any scenarios, even rare scenarios, where he's been the only one. I think one of the few times that I have used him is when I wanted to magic spam a Jotun deck because I couldn't use ranged attackers. And so I was just trying to do a bunch of magic damage because that's just me. But again, haven't really been a big fan. Gem Meteor, same deal. I mean, I have a level 2, so he goes from speed of 4 to speed of 5 at level 2. He will get a speed of 3. I'm sorry, he will get a damage attack of 2 at level 3. But this Scattershot ability has just not been there for me. I don't know. I don't know how to play it. I don't know how to plan for it. It's too random in my opinion. And I don't know if I'm just not an experienced enough player to allow a little randomness in. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm just not using it. If I can get him to level 3, and obviously that is the short to medium to eventually long-term goal if it needs to be, he wouldn't be bad to play with Jotun. But again, I can't play a level 3 with my level 1 Jotun, which I'm renting right now, right? So I'd have to figure it out. Actually, I would be able to play him with General Sloan, so that could be interesting because he'd be able to do 3 damage. It wouldn't be splash, but it would be 3 damage. So that could be something, but I'm not using him as of right now. Okay, let's go to the rare cards now. Okay, so probably my favorite card here, Zenith Monk. He is the only tank in the game that has self-heal, and I feel like Splinterlands was deliberate to make sure that you wouldn't be able to get a self-healing tank in the starter deck anymore. So they didn't make it a silver level ability. They just made it a level 2 ability, right? If you get him at level 1 and in the starter deck, he's an okay tank. I mean, 4 mana for 1 damage, 3 speed, 6 health. He's a decent meat shield. But getting into level 2, meaning you need 5 BCX, and he's going for, I guess, $1.45 right now, that self-healer can be so clutch and has won me several games, especially in the Little League, 4 mana or less games. What I really like about him, and I haven't played him at this level yet, right? Because for silver, I can only play up to level 4. But in gold, I can get him up to level 6, I believe. And I think Void would be super clutch as just like a anti-magic spamming tank to have that's versatile across all of the splinters. Like you can play them with any summoner at that point. So one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite neutral cards overall. Zenith Archer has come in handy sometimes. Again, slow for me, but I like the low mana. And so sometimes if I just have 2 mana left over and there's nobody else that I want to put in, I'll put in Zenith Archer, but it's never a go-to option. And obviously you can see from the way the market has priced these, it's clearly the lowest of the neutral rares. Now, Venari Spellsmith is an interesting one because I have actually not gotten him to the level that I need to. I need to get him to level, what do I have, a level 3? Okay, so I'm gonna need to buy a couple of these guys at some point and get him to level 4 because he has Amplify. So I will just give that caveat there that I haven't played with him at the full silver level. But before that, if you're playing in bronze, I don't know, 4 mana for 1 magic damage at speed of 2. I don't use him if I really, really don't have to. I feel like there are much better options out there. Dispel is cool, but I don't use it. So just being honest. Okay, wrong direction. Let's go back to cards. Okay, so let's wrap up then looking at the Chaos Legion common neutral cards. Okay, so here is where probably some of my favorites are, and some that I haven't actually even played with. So you can get these guys up to level 5. Let's start with Chaos Agent, 1 mana. Really like putting him on the back tank. Or actually, you could put him in the front too. But a lot of times, if I have just 1 mana left, this dodge ability that you get at level 2, super, super clutch. Obviously, once you are in gold, he will have phase as well, which could be really cool because his speed and dodge would put quite. Actually, what is dodge? Is that only melee and ranged? Okay, so he just have a higher chance of missing pretty much all attacks. Now, Disintegrator, I think this card is kind of unfair at level 1 because you get demoralized, which, keep in mind, this is the same ability that summoners have, right? Like Zintar is a summoner that has this ability, and you get it with a level 1 monster. So I almost felt like this card was incredibly valuable. Now at level 1, he can do 2 damage, but he's very slow. Great for the reverse speed rule sets, right? But overall, sometimes I will just use him as a back tank if I know the other team is going to be coming heavy with a melee attack, or like in a melee only, like up close and personal rule set. Now I've gotten my guy to level 5, which is maxed out for silver. So he's a little bit faster. He does get trample. And again, I don't think that I've replaced him in a position where he's doing a ton of damage for me that trample would make sense, but it's nice to have, right? And as you can see here, once you get into gold, his attacks do go up a little bit, and then he'll have the knockout ability at some point. So I think that this card, very underrated. I use it in specific situations, but I think that it is phenomenal for those situations, as I was telling you before. Scable Hireling, again, another card that gives you an ability which I think is incredibly valuable at level 1 in the starter deck. Repair has become, Repair used to only be, well, actually, no, it used to only be at level 1 available for the life team. And now with this being on a neutral card, I find myself using this a lot. Again, here's the thing. A 3-mana card, it also takes up a position, right, when you only have 6 available cards. So there have been games where, if I know, especially low mana games is where I use this guy a lot. I will use a low mana game where I know the opponent might have 1 creature, right? They're going to try and overpower me with 1 guy. And I will put him in with a summoner that gives everyone 1 armor, right? Yeah, one armor, and then another attacker. So one of the strategies that I've used, especially for low mana games, is to throw a Dr. Blight with him, with someone like a Kelia or like a Drake, because, and it doesn't always work, right? But what it does is allow the other team, their 1 attacker, to never be able to penetrate the armor, because he repairs it every turn. They only get 1 attack per turn. And then with someone like a Dr. Blight who has Affliction, and it doesn't need to be Dr. Blight, you could do it with any other monster that has Affliction or that can do some serious damage. I like that, because then I slowly take out the other team, right? That's been my strategy in some of the small mana games. Now this guy is one that I am very excited to get to level 5. At the lower levels, I think, 6 mana for 2 damage, not terrible. His speed isn't bad either. And if you get into level 3, this is maxed out for bronze, where now he's got a health of 4, a health of 5, a speed of 4, still does 2 damage. I frequently throw him into my Jotun decks, or whenever I play Jotun, because even at level 3, he's decent. And if there's enough mana, he makes a great back tank, because he can take a decent amount of hits. Where this gets very interesting for me, and why I am excited to get him to level 5, which is maxed out for silver, is he gets swiftness. Now, there was a specific game where I went Jotun versus another Jotun. Our decks were almost identical, but they had a level 5 of this guy, and I had a level 4. And because of the fact that he gave swiftness to all of his monsters, meaning that they all went 1 speed ahead, I didn't even get a turn. They killed all of my guys with all that crazy blast damage before I could even get a shot off. So that to me is incredibly valuable. Speed is so huge in this game, and to be able to get that with a monster that is a decent, has a decent amount of health, is pretty fast, and can do some damage. Like you can pair him not just with Jotun, you could pair him with what's that other? Oh gosh, what's General Sloan? That's the one that I'm thinking of, right? You compare him with General Sloan, all of a sudden he's doing 3 damage per turn, making everybody around him faster. All of a sudden he's at 5 speed too. So I haven't played with him yet, but it's been played against me to a sense that at a time where I was just like, I know that this card is incredibly valuable, and I want to make sure that I get a maxed out silver level version so that I can get swiftness in there. So that's my breakdown of all these cards, the ones that I'm using a lot, the ones that I'm not using. Again, some of them, maybe the situation just hasn't arisen for me. Maybe I just don't have the decks built out in that way. But overall, that's kind of where it's at. So hopefully this was valuable for you guys, or at least entertaining. If it was, please consider liking and subscribing. It's a free and easy way to support the channel, and I appreciate all of you who do and who come through here and comment and are just helping to build a phenomenal community around this channel. So I appreciate you. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. I hope you get nothing but gold foil legendaries in your reward chest and any packs you open, and I will catch you all in the next video. See you around the game.